spiders and snakes and scorpions. Oh my. Today we're talking about what's bugging you, quite literally, what you want to talk about, what kind of bugs and pests we have in the New Braunfels area. Are they harmful? Are they not harmful? And what you can do to control them. If you're new here to my channel, thank you so much for hopping on. Just hit that subscribe button because we're putting out new videos like this one about what it's like to live in the New Braunfels area every single week. All right, guys, I know I'm a pest, but I am not the pest expert. That's this guy right next to me, Josh Burnett of Burnett's Pest Control, servicing everywhere, South Central Texas, plus the Hill Country. Thanks so much for being here. I mean, you're busy these days, I'd imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. We're asked all the time whether we're a seasonal business, and the answer to that is no. We live in Texas. Everything here seems to want to bite, poke, or sting you.
All right, Josh, let's jump right in. We've got a lot of spiders, so let's start with the spiders first. What are we looking at here? This is it looks like a spider to me. What exactly is it?
Yeah, so
what kind of spider?
This here is a wolf spider with her eggs, with her babies. And this is a spider you see a lot around the households here in New Braunfels and surrounding areas. They're very intimidating looking. They don't have a super harmful bite. But again, they look scary, and it's something that you're going to see a lot of when you move here.
Okay, the next one is also from the spider family. This kind of looks like one of those, if I'm saying this, brown recluse then?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, brown recluse, definitely a look-alike of the wolf spider. Mm-hmm. Not the same thing. We're dealing with a very a severe threat looking at this spider. This spider, along with the black widow that we also see, we see rarely, but we do have them here. These spiders, they can put you in a hospital, and that's one of the main points with our business and our industry. Is why we want to stay on top of your pest control services, because you get kids and you get pets, and even for us adults, these are major threats. The black widow may be a little bit more severe as far as death rates go, but there's a reason why the spider's dead in this picture, and not a good guy.
So the next one is a tarantula.
By looking at the picture, you would think he'd be the most harmful out of the three we just talked about, and honestly, this is kind of a good guy. I mean, you talk about good, bad, and the ugly. This is the good. Okay. And he can benefit us in a lot of different ways as long as we can tolerate them. And yeah, they can be really good for us in our environment.
Do they bite? Do they sting? Do they?
They rarely bite. If they feel threatened, it would be a question for somebody who maybe even owns one as a pet. Mm. But as far as taking care of some of the other critters that you don't want around, okay, this is your guy.
All right, so right now we're done with the spider family, thank God, right? On to the guy from the insurance commercial. This is the gecko or the lizard?
Not quite, not quite. He's the old faithful lizard. We've got a ton of different subspecies of lizards right here in New Braunfels, and this guy, he's also a good guy. He's working for us. Yeah. He's an unpaid intern, and he works hard to sweep up anything he can on the exterior of the house. And he's
so harmless.
Harmless.
Okay.
Harmless.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So the next one, maybe your dog considers it a pest, but maybe not so much us. But the frog.
Yeah, frogs, toads, we'll find those a lot when you're patrolling the outside of your house, particularly at night. Yeah. And really, these guys are also working for you. If they're not doing their job, then you may see some more critters around your house. Right. And really, the only concern would be that when you stick your foot in a boot, coming out to go to work one day, that would be the only time this guy might alarm you.
It's funny you mention that because living in New Braunfels, I always look at my shoes if I have them outside and I'm putting them on for the next day. I am always like, okay, what's in there? So it just must be a Texas thing. I don't know.
Shake out the boots, man.
Yeah, you got to shake the boots.
There's a toad in my boot.
There's a toad in my boot. And there's a frog in my throat, right? All right, so moving on. This guy or girl need to eat a little bit more, right? It's a stick bug.
Yeah, come on, man. I mean, He's
Harmless, harmful, the stick bug?
no, he's harmless. I mean,
Okay.
he needs to put on a few extra pounds, maybe some Whataburger.
Yeah, exactly.
We got plenty of those. And you know, I used to love catching these guys growing up. They're fun around the, you know, if you got kids and things, it's a great learning tool. These guys they're just chilling.
So they do no
They
harm?
like to hang out.
Okay.
And as long as you can tolerate them on your siding or in your eaves, then
You're
it's
good.
no harm, no foul.
Just by looking at this next one, we can't say this about no harm, no foul about this one, I don't think. This looks like a centipede. What is it?
Yeah, so this is the Texas Redheaded Centipede. A lot of people see the antennas and think it's the devil, maybe, with the crookedness of it. And these guys have a pretty badass bite. You definitely don't want to see something this big in your house, but it's something that you got to be prepared for when you're moving to Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas, and obviously the centipedes are too.
All right, so this next one doesn't look, it looks fuzzy and friendly. It's looks like a caterpillar.
That's because it is a caterpillar.
All right, you see, 1 for 12 today.
Yeah, a lot of caterpillars. We get lots of monarchs.
Okay.
We give, of course, these guys will turn into butterflies, and they'll go through their life cycle. You know, not a serious threat around the home.
Okay.
He does look pretty spiny, but again, in a couple of weeks, you know, he's gonna go through his process. It's gonna be great. We have lots of butterfly migrations certain times a year in Texas. Those are great also. So
Yeah, oh yeah. This next one, I don't know. It looks like some kind of worm.
yeah, so you're halfway right. It's a cankerworm.
Cankerworm?
A cankerworm. These guys will develop into canker moths. They're harmless.
They don't sting, they don't bite, they're just kind of, they're there.
Yeah, they're there. They come in bulk, we can
Okay.
say. They
All right.
drop down from the trees, and then they're on the ground until they turn into their moth selves.
This one, I've seen one of these in a parking lot a few weeks ago, and it was dead. It came up from the river, I think. So it's some kind of snake. I don't know. It's a colorful snake. I just don't know what kind of snake it is.
Right, yeah, this is a coral snake, and red and yellow killifelia. We may all have heard that at one point in our lives. You know, you don't want to get too close to admire this particular snake and its
Okay.
colors. I know it can look pretty, but this guy is not good to have around. Even though he's small in size, he can do a lot of damage to kids, pets, and adults.
So we're talking about bites for sure.
Absolutely.
Okay. What's severity?
You talk about even going back to the brown recluse spider. He can put you in the hospital, or it could be something as put some ice on it.
Yeah.
So that's
Okay,
kind
so
of
stay away. I mean, just in snakes in general, Josh, I mean, as long as you don't prompt them, I mean, are you okay? Are you going to be safe? Like if you don't egg them on or throw a stick at them, I mean, or they just chase you?
Yeah, no, they're not out to get you. You know, snakes don't move randomly, right? They have a purpose for where they're at, and you know, of course, the amount of venom that's injected, like we just talked about, depends on how you're going to feel after a bite like that.
Okay.
But you know, snakes they smell with their tongues. They're after food, and you know, we get a lot of questions about snake repellents, right? You go to Home Depot, you go to Tractor Supply, and they've got them line the shelves with repellents. And you know, if something worked, we'd all be doing it.
Right.
To get rid of these guys.
Right.
What we have found is that if you can control the rodent population, you may be able to control the snake activity around your house.
Yeah.
I've always been taught to watch for snakes, and watch for snakes. And we can talk about that here in the next.
Okay, so we have another snake. It looks like a rattlesnake. Is it a specific kind of rattlesnake?
Yeah, it's a diamondback rattlesnake.
Okay.
And there's probably a reason he's dead in this picture. Not one to feel sorry for. I've personally had a lot of encounters with these guys. I've been very, very lucky as far as that goes. And like I said, I've always been told to watch for snakes. You know, you get brush piles, you stick your hand in one of those, you gotta look for them. If you got, you know, you're going back to your shed and it's nighttime, use a flashlight.
Yeah.
Listen to the rattle before you go frolicking through the bluebonnet fields. Definitely watch and listen for them.
So definitely harmful.
Definitely harmful.
Okay. This next one looks pretty friendly to me. It looks like a regular grasshopper. I don't know if I'm spot on there.
Yeah, we'll call it a regular grasshopper.
Okay.
Okay. They
I like when Josh agrees with me, by the way. That's awesome.
We'll call it that for now. We're looking at kind of a broad spectrum and through all these different pests. But you know, these guys, they can cause some harm.
Grasshoppers,
to your plants.
Really?
To your plants.
Oh, to your plants. Okay. All right. Different
so
story.
you'll see them on the exterior of your house, maybe in your garden beds, on your shrubs, and you'll notice, you know, some pretty good chunks taken out of them at some point.
Okay.
And you can treat your plants to keep the grasshoppers from feasting on them. So that's really the only concern.
Okay.
They're fun to catch if you got kids.
All right. So this next one, boy, it's a big insect. It's not an insect. It's an armadillo. Armadillo. Yeah.
Well, it looks like the Lone Star beer logo to me. But yeah, we can talk about the armadillo. The armadillo, he's going to get after your yard a little bit. He's going to be looking for grubs. He's going to dig it up. You might think, oh, we got hogs. We got this. You know, armadillos will do some digging too. They'll root up your yard, searching for grubs.
So this next one is something you're going to find, and I'm telling you, it can scare the you-know-what out of you. But we see quite a few of them. So the scorpion.
Yeah, the scorpion, man. The bark scorpion. We have plentiful bark scorpions here in Texas. We have the terrain that is very inviting to scorpions. You got, let's say you have a wood pile. You definitely want to check it out before you just start loading wood up. You have, maybe some landscaping, some rock. You're going to have pressure for these guys. As you can see here, you got a lot of babies on its back. That happens late spring. These guys have a pretty good bite. I mean, pretty good sting. Sorry, pretty good sting. You'll find them when you check your covers at night. Sometimes they'll even drop down from the vents. There's different ways we can work on excluding them from the house.
Yeah.
Exclusion, you could do foam, caulk, you can do wire mesh, things of that sort. Mm-hmm. But you know, as far as pest control, you really got to stay on top of them.
Okay.
Now they have a very tough exoskeleton, and that makes them a little harder to kill, right? You have to use different techniques.
Sure.
Dusts, liquids. What's really cool about these guys is if you have a black light, you can go out scorpion hunting at night.
So scorpions definitely harmful, but not to the point where...
They shouldn't send you to the hospital.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You might be cussing a little bit.
This next one looks like a beetle to me. What, am I half right, or what is that?
Yeah, so this is a longhorn beetle.
Okay.
Particularly the Asian type. And you know, these longhorn beetles, along with some other beetles that we have in Texas, the powder post beetle, the old house borer, these guys are wood destroying. They're wood boring beetles. We have a few. We have carpenter ants that are a wood boring insect as well. Mm-hmm. And then of course we have the termites. We have subterranean, Formosan, and drywood termites here in Texas. So those are the few bugs that you gotta monitor around your home.
All right, Josh. So how do we control the pest and bug population here in the New Braunfels area? Right.
So what I would say is call a professional. Right. A lot of people like to do it themselves. They like to use their own magic potions, their own pixie dust to repel these guys, and really it's gonna cause you to have to be reactive rather than proactive.
Okay.
That's what I would suggest, is be proactive, get on a schedule with a company that you like, and you know, the frequency is really up to you. It's based on customer tolerance, is what we always say, depending on how much you can tolerate. And of course, there's different ways to customize treatments and things like that. Lots of different products and strategies that you can go with.
So basically manage it just by, pest control, reaching out to companies like yours then.
Absolutely.
Okay. Let's give a shout out for your company then. Tell the people where they can reach you if they want to reach you.
Yeah, you can reach us on our website, www.burnettspestcontrol.com. Our phone number is 512-912-6696. We are family owned and operated, and we are local.
Thank you so much for allowing us to learn from you today and allowing us to bug you. I was waiting all video to say that, so
Right.
thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you guys.
And thank you guys so much for joining us today. Hey, if you're looking to still move to the New Braunfels area despite all the bugs and pests, I'd love to be your real estate resource of choice. You can email me, you can call me, or you can throw me a text. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and we'll see you on the next one.